Hello everyone, here's Dr. Garcia. Today I'm going to talk about 10 tips on how to help your adolescent when they're struggling in school. So the first one is to validate them. I know you've heard me say this before, and it's really important to start validating what they're feeling, what they're thinking, because nowadays school is very difficult, it's very hard, and the expectations are way higher than they used to be in the past. So that's the first one. The second one would be to ask them about what's going on, and more of an open, receptive, without judgment, and just getting their story, and also asking them what they need, what do they want to do, because a lot of times we don't think that our adolescents have this information, but simply by asking them we can start figuring out and problem solving ways to improve this. So that's the second one. The third one would be to have a meeting at the school. Ideally, this meeting will have the participation of the main teachers, the school staff that is relevant to your child, specifically counselors, attendance counselor, if the principal of the school wants to get involved. And the whole purpose of this meeting is to have first just a talk about what's good, what's going on, and also about what are the options that the school can provide, and to create a plan to help your adolescent. The fourth one would be to consider referring for a psychological evaluation. This could be done through the school if you request an IEP evaluation. That's an individualized and educational plan. I think that's what it means, sorry. And I'm talking more about LA. I don't know your school and your district and your rules, but usually public schools in the US have a process to get the student evaluated and to determine if they need special education. That's what I'm talking about. If that's not possible, or your child is not in a public school, just know, depending on the city and all that, still you can try to get that through your public school, the one that is assigned to your child. Or if this is something that is not like that where you live at, then you can also just consider finding a psychologist to do an evaluation. And this evaluation should look about academic achievement and their skills, the areas that they need to work more. A lot of times it's recommended to have some cognitive, and to just evaluate if this is more about memory issue, attention, specific learning disorder, or if there's anything emotional that's getting in the way. Anxiety tends to get in the way and mimic a lot of attentional issues, and we keep ignoring how these mental health issues tend to impact the school. So that's really important. So that would be my tip number 4. The number 5 is to look for extra help with the subjects that they're struggling with. A lot of times schools have after-school programs, tutoring. Sometimes some universities offer these services free to the families. There's also private paid tutoring program that you can have access. Some here in LA, there are some agencies like Boys and Girls Club that sometimes offer this. So just try to look what resources you have available for your child and try to look for them. The 6th one would be to balance school work with fun things. This one you might have not expected that I was going to talk about this, but like I mentioned in my first one, school nowadays tend to be very competitive, and there's higher expectations for our adolescents nowadays, and we keep ignoring the importance for them to have fun and do extracurricular activities that can boost their self-esteem and self-confidence. And this in itself can help them feel more, again, confident to perform better in school. So it's really important to balance that. It's not all about school. Anyways, in life, even if they go to college is still like 4 to 12 years depending on what they end up studying. So that's not all about life. The 7th one would be to figure out and try to assess if there's anything else going on. A lot of times school struggles can indicate something more, and my first recommendation here would be to try to just kind of notice and analyze how their school performance was in the past. Because if it's always been that your child was struggling in school, then it's something that is more of a pattern, and as the school, he keeps progressing in grades, the school keeps getting harder. So that tends to be like a normal kind of thing. But if your adolescent used to have straight A's or really good grades, and out of the blue is starting to have F's and D's, even C's, just try to analyze and assess what else can be going on. A lot of times it could be due to, I would first start with anything medical. If there's anything medical going on that can interfere with this. The second one that I would think would be anything in the family. Parents tend to disregard how the family situation impact your daughter, their kids, and it does big time. So I would say that's the second one, to kind of really think about what's going on in your family, any losses, any moves, any big changes, additions to the family, anything like that might be, or stress, financial stress, anything like that can definitely impact your child's academic. The other one would be to assess for their friends. Friendships during adolescent years are really important, and a lot of times they're filled with drama and gossiping and all of that, and now bullying, or just a lot of things that happen through the internet and social media. So just try to that's why it's really important to know your child, so that way you can start noticing if there's any changes with that. The other one would be if there's anything going on like anxiety, depression. A lot of times adolescents and children start showing some other mental health signs, so it's really important to know your kiddo, so that way when they're growing up, then you can kind of notice when things are happening. And yeah, sorry, I'm just reading, and those were the ones. The 8th tip would be to consider alternative schools. Traditional school is not the only way that your son, daughter, adolescent can get an education. I've had several clients that they were struggling big time in traditional school, and their parents didn't want to take this person out of school because of their ideals, that this was the best way of their daughter or son having an education. But there are other alternative ways. There's the homeschooling, there's the they can get an education through the internet, there's alternative schools. So just try to think out of the box. There's many ways that they can get an education and complete a high school diploma. And sometimes this is temporary, it's not all the time. I've had clients that they were struggling big time in school, in high school. They took time because they were going to get kicked out, and they went to a continuation school, made up some of the credits, and then they were able to go back to high school. So it's possible. The other one is offer encouragement. It's really important to be very supportive of them, and this is part of life. If this is part of the lessons that you want to teach them, that when things get hard, how to push through, and how to also recognize when things are hard, what to do, how to seek out support, how to get the support, and how to keep moving forward in life. Because it's about the failures that make us strong. It's about what we learn about those. So really focus on offering them support. And the last one is, which is not technically the last one in your list, but the last tip that I have for the day is to consider therapy. A lot of times adolescents struggling with school, it could be something related, like I mentioned, to some mental health issues going on, and therapy can help a lot. A lot of my adolescents, as they progress in therapy and they started working on their goals, you could definitely see how their academics improved. And a lot of them, there were no signs of them graduating, and with the proper support and therapy and all that, they did. So these are all my tips. If you have any questions, you know where to find me. I hope this helps, and have a great day and rest of your week. Bye.